The following podcast is for mature listeners. Although looked at in a light-hearted manner, some content may be graphic and gruesome. Also, due to the host's complete lack of maturity, those easily offended will probably be offended. Hold on to your butts.
That's what I like to hear. I'm into it. We got lovers of whiskey, incest, and fried fucking chicken.
Fried fucking chicken. All right, look. Let's do an episode here. What do we got? What do we got on the docket today?
Yeah.
The 49ers pulling out a big upset. Fucking up their draft pick.
Oh, they're still going to be top 3.
Yeah, but just blow the games, man. Just blow it at this point. What are you fighting for?
It can't be like the Sixers and just tank.
Trust the process.
Can't
Jake.
trust it. Can't. TTP, baby.
TTP. All right. Hey, you want to play a game, Jake?
Is this are we playing a little game called What are you going to say?
I was going to say not Super Smash Brothers.
We're going to play a little game called Who's in My Mouth?
Ooh, it's going to be difficult to play that game over Skype.
You never know.
Never know who's in the room.
That's right.
No, let's play. Well, unless you haven't. Do you have an elevator in your house? I know you're living the good life now, but
I live in the city. I'm trying not to get shot as I walk to my car.
All right. Well, if you're ever in a place with an elevator, I'm gonna teach you how to play the Korean elevator game, Jake.
Is this like a Chinese fire drill type of thing?
You could say that.
Okay.
You could say that. All right, here we go. So the elevator game is a series of rules that can apparently take you to another world.
Take you to another world?
Yes, it's a paranormal ritual that originated in Korea.
Well, God.
Have you heard of this?
No, I have not.
Okay. All right, so the game must be played alone, like all your favorite games.
Yeah, that's why my forearms are so strong. Wait,
and in a
what?
And in a building, in a building with an elevator at least 10 stories high.
Okay.
All right, so if you play this game correctly, Jake, then you should, on the 5th floor of this elevator, encounter a strange woman.
Okay.
All right.
Is she like a gatekeeper? Or is it like a gatekeeper or keymaster sort of thing?
Very similar. Very similar. Okay, so participants are instructed to not acknowledge this woman. All right? If you acknowledge this woman, it could result in severe consequences.
Like, how severe are we talking here?
Very severe. If all the steps are followed correctly, then you, the player, will be transported to another world. And the other world will look very similar to our world, except it's said to be dark and empty, aside from a red cross glowing in the distance. I don't know why you would want to go to this world. I'm not sure what the upside is to being in this weird world. But, they eat kimchi and shit in Korea, so who knows?
Yeah, is this like a precursor to like the Upside Down and Stranger Things? Like, not really sure why anyone would want to A, play this game, or B, go to this weird, creepy, cross-filled world.
Maybe it is the Upside Down. Maybe people want to go there to save Barb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What about Barb?
Okay, so here we go. Here are the requirements for the Korean elevator game. It requires one building, as I said, at least 10 stories high, with an elevator. And that's it. All 3 of these conditions must be met in order for the game to proceed. But as long as you have one building, an elevator, and 10 stories, you're good. Okay, so you enter your chosen building and get into the elevator on the 1st floor.
Okay.
If anybody else is in the elevator, you can't proceed with the game.
Automatically disqualified.
You're out. You got to get out and wait for an empty elevator on the 1st floor. Okay, the first thing you do is you press the button for the 4th floor.
Okay.
Try and keep up here because there's a lot going on. If you want to take notes, you can take notes.
I actually do.
When the elevator reaches the 4th floor, Well, don't worry about it. You're never going to do this. It's ridiculous.
No,
when the
you're
elevator
not
reaches the
stupid.
fourth floor, don't get out, okay? Don't get out on the fourth floor. Instead, remain in the elevator and press the button for the second floor.
Okay.
When you reach the second floor, don't get out of the elevator. Remain in the elevator and press the button for the sixth floor. When you reach the sixth floor, stay in the elevator, Jake.
Okay.
And then press the button for the second floor again.
I'm noticing a pattern here.
All right, when you reach the second floor, do not get out of the elevator.
Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say whoever's like watching on the cameras, like hotel security or building security, is like, what the fuck is wrong with this idiot?
What is happening? Well, if they're watching on hotel security, things might get a little weirder real soon.
All right.
Okay, when you reach the 10th floor, remain in the elevator and press the button for the 5th floor.
Okay.
Here's where things get weird. When you get to the 5th floor, a young woman is going to enter the elevator. Do not look at her. Do not speak to her. She is not what she seems. All right?
Okay.
Instead, just press the button for the first floor. When you press the button for the first floor, if the elevator begins ascending to the 10th floor instead of descending to the first, then you have done things correctly and you may proceed with the game. If the elevator goes to the first floor, exit as soon as the doors open, do not look back, and don't say a word to the woman that was on the elevator with you. If you reach the 10th floor, then you may either choose to get off the elevator or stay on it. If you choose to get off and the woman entered the elevator on the 5th floor, she will ask you, where are you going?
Okay.
Do you know what you should do?
Not fucking say anything to her because she's going to eat your soul.
Right. Do not answer her. Do not even look at her. Okay?
Don't you fucking look at her.
Don't look at the woman. You can't acknowledge her. You will know whether you have arrived in the other world by one indication and one indication only.
You are fucking retarded.
And that is the
That's it. You have a styrofoam helmet on, and you've been drooling on yourself this entire time, you invalid.
You'll know that you're in the other world
Yeah.
because you'll be the only one in it.
Here's my question.
Yeah. Questions.
I have a lot of questions here.
Okay.
A, who came up with the order in which you not zigzag, but like the Konami code like sequence that you go up and down this fucking elevator?
Well, you have to remember that this is an ancient Korean ritual, back to the days of,
Ronin warriors.
the 1100s, like the early elevators.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
My second.
No, I don't. It's from the internet, Jake. This game seems to have propped up from the internet.
All right. Well, my second question is, does anyone actually know what this woman looks like?
Well, they know that she wears red, and that you don't want to talk to her because
Q song,
bad shit will happen.
Lady in Red.
Yes, it's playing right now. I've edited it in.
Okay. But and you don't want to talk to her, you don't want to look at her, but all you know is that she's in red. So can you, it's like, if she gets on the elevator, can you like use your peripheral vision, be like, I know you're over there, but I'm not looking at you.
No, you better not. You better not. I mean, you could do that.
It's all internally. Well,
right.
All right. Question 2B.
Yeah.
What happens if you say anything to her or look at her? Like, what are the consequences we're talking about here? Is she going to come over and like, does she do something awful to you?
Well, let's keep going, and we'll see what it. We'll see
all right, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't want to I don't want to cut you off. You're building steam.
No, it's okay. All right, so if you've done things correctly, you're in this world. You're the only person present, and there's like a red cross off in the distance, maybe. If you choose to stay on the elevator on the 10th floor, you can press the button for the first floor. If it doesn't work, Keep pressing it until it finally works. That's what the instructions say.
Call elevator maintenance.
Hit the emergency button. When the elevator reaches the first floor, exit as soon as the doors open. Do not look back. Do not speak. If you choose to exit the elevator on the 10th floor, right back in the world where you were the only one there when it successfully worked, you must use the same elevator to return as the one in which you arrived. So when you enter the elevator, right? This is how you get back if you decided to wander around on the 10th floor and check out this weird ghost world.
Yeah, dicking around, checking out some glowing cross stuff.
Yeah, so you get back on the elevator that you got out of, and when you enter the elevator, press the buttons in the same order you did step 2 through 8. I hope you wrote that down because otherwise you're fucked.
If not, yeah, you're fucking beat, dude.
And you should finish on the 5th floor. When you reach the 5th floor, press the button for the first floor. The elevator will begin to ascend to the 10th floor. Press any other floor button to cancel the ascension. You must press this button to cancel the ascension before you reach the 10th floor. After you've reached the first floor, check your surroundings carefully. Jake, very carefully. If anything seems off, even the smallest detail, do not get out of the fucking elevator. I cannot stress this enough. If you detect that something is wrong, repeat steps 2 until your surroundings look as they should.
I want to be the person who's on the elevator being like, sure you want to go to the 4th floor, buddy? That's not going to be a good look if you hit that 4. I don't know, man. Could you imagine that woman in red's like, don't do it. Don't fucking.
What happens if you're just some kid fucking around on an elevator and you accidentally like press this sequence?
Unlock the Pandora's box of the elevator realm, and the next thing you know, you're like. And here's another thing, and
you're getting fucked by this woman in red.
Yeah, don't fucking look at me, kid. I'm over here talking. You know, she's probably doing like a cat's cradle with yarn or something. Like, don't fucking make eye contact with me, or you're fucking dead.
You know, she's doing something to gain your attention. You know what I mean? She's not just standing.
She's over there like
she's got a yo-yo.
Juggling. Yeah, she's like juggling like something that's on fire, and you're like, no, you don't want to look over here. You're fucking dead.
Yep, done.
My question is like, why do you want to be in this world?
Nobody wants to be in this world.
What's the purpose of this fucking world?
Well, the purpose of me telling you about this world serves a greater purpose later on in the podcast, so we'll get to that.
All right.
So anyway, after you reach the first floor, check your surroundings. I told you that. Once you're confident that you've returned to your own world, you may safely exit the elevator. There are some additional notes, okay?
Okay.
Should you reach the other world, the floor onto which you will emerge will look almost identical to the one from your own world, except for 2 things. All of the lights will be off, and the only thing you'll be able to see in the distance is a red cross in one of the windows. Some people say that electronic devices, mobile phones, cameras, MP3 players, etc., do not work in the other world. They have terrible reception.
So you're telling me right now I can't bring my fucking Zune?
No, your Zune will not work.
On my trip to the other world while I'm, listening to the best of Rod Stewart?
Yeah, and actually, if I'm going to be completely honest, Jake, unfortunately, your Zune is not going to work in the other world, and it's not going to work in this world either. That ship has sailed.
Hey, man, Obama had a Zune. Just remember that.
Did he really?
Sure enough, did. That's why he was my president.
Get you some, Barry. Okay, so some people say that the electronic devices don't work. Other people say they do work. So who knows? All right, getting back to your own world may be more difficult than it seems. You may become disoriented and forget which elevator you arrived in.
Oh, the plot thickens.
The elevator may seem to get further and further away from you as you walk towards it. So be vigilant and keep your wits about you. If at any point...
Do not drink an elevator.
No, do not drink and play the Korean elevator game.
Whatever you fucking do not drink. Be under the influence of alcohol while you're doing this otherworldly activity.
No. Or LSD.
No. Ooh, callback.
Kind of. If at any point during the ritual you faint, pass out, or otherwise lose consciousness, you will likely wake up in your own home. However, be sure to carefully examine your surroundings upon waking up to the home which you've been
Quote,
returned
unquote.
to.
Make sure to check your sides for any lacerations. You may have lost a kidney or may have been probed in the bottom.
Yes, right. Yep, exactly.
Definitely check your wallet, too, because you might have been robbed.
Yeah, concerning the woman in red on the 5th floor, all right?
All right.
Do not speak to her. Do not look at her. If you do, she may decide to keep you for her own. That's all it says about the woman in red. So
is this like a sex slave scenario?
Yeah, it's kind of like the Stephen King book, Misery.
Misery, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Kathy Bates, she'll break your fucking legs.
If you want, there are videos on the internet, on YouTube, of people attempting the Korean elevator game. None of the ones I have stumbled across, it's worked in. There haven't been many successes, believe it or not. But maybe you can find one where it worked. I don't know.
So you're telling me there's videos online of people trying to actually do this fucking retarded game?
Yeah, they're trying to get to the other world on YouTube. And no, it doesn't work.
I hate humanity sometimes.
Okay, Jake, the reason I told you about this stupid game is to bring you to the story we're actually going to be talking about today.
Thank fucking God, because if that's what you were really bringing to the table today, Paul, I was going to dog you. Because it's fucking stupid.
The story that I want to talk to you today about is one that brought this weird elevator game into the public eye, and it's the strange and chilling case of Elisa Lam. Do you know who Elisa Lam is?
I think I do.
Okay,
but
so
I want you to start filming it. I'm real foggy, but I have an idea, and I want to make sure it's the same thing because it has a pretty fucking cool ending.
Yeah, so, okay, Elisa Lam is, I guess we could just get this out of the way here. If you want, before you continue on with this podcast, go on YouTube and just type in Elisa Lam. And the video that comes up will surely be the video we're going to be talking about. Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old Canadian student from the University of British Columbia in Vancouver.
Yep, I know what we're talking about now.
And she became famous when she disappeared from a hotel. And the only thing they could find was security cam footage of her freaking the fuck out on an elevator.
Yep, losing her fucking mind.
Yeah. There is more to the story. We'll get to that. But okay, if you're not familiar with Elisa Lam at all, right now, pause the podcast. Go find the video of Elisa Lam in the elevator. It's going to make this whole experience a lot more creepy once you see how fucking weird it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it. So in January of 2013, Elisa Lam embarked on a solo trip around the west coast of the United States. She called it West Coast Tour.
What? Okay.
Yeah, how about that?
Real original.
She had tour t-shirts and everything. During the first leg of her adventure, she frequently contacted friends and family, as well as posted photos online of herself in all the different locations along the way. So everything was going great on the Elisa Lam West Coast Tour until on January 26th, Lam arrived in Los Angeles, California, and checked into the Cecil Hotel. So, Jake, the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles, we could probably, no shit, do an entire episode on just the Cecil Hotel. The shit that I found out about this hotel when researching for this show is fucking buck wild.
Buck wild. Now, is it the same hotel that... Wasn't there like a lot of murders or something at this hotel?
Well, let's talk about that.
Let's delve into it, shall we?
Yeah. So the Cecil Hotel was built in 1924. It was built as a destination for business travelers and tourists. It was built in the Art Deco style that screams 1900s LA. Today, the hotel is it's got a bit of a darker reputation. It's located on Skid Row.
Yeah, give me some crack, baby.
And it has quite the reputation for murder and suicide. Elizabeth Short who you may know as the victim in the Black Dahlia murders.
Yes.
LA's best known unsolved killing is believed to have made this hotel her last stop before she died in 1947. The hotel was also the residence for a guy by the name of Richard Ramirez, who you know as the
Night
fucking
Stalker!
Right. And another serial killer named Jack Unterweger, who lived there in 1991. So 2 serial killers lived at this hotel.
Fucking
This
Night
is
Stalker.
I'm gonna rapid fire here. Just some of the things that have happened
Hit me
at
with
this
it.
hotel.
Hit me with some highlights. Hit me with hot and heavy.
Here we go. 1931, W.K. Norton checks into his room and then takes a number of poison capsules and kills himself. 1932, Benjamin Dodich is found by a maid with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head.
Yep.
1934, Louis Borden slashes his throat with a razor in his room. 1937, Grace Margot falls out of the 9th-story window. 1938, Roy Thompson leaps from the hotel's top floor. His body was found on the skylight of the next building. 1939, Ewan Nilbit dies in his room after taking poison capsules. 1944, Dorothy Purcell gives birth to an unexpected baby after waking up with a stomach ache and throws the baby from the hotel window.
Fuck yeah!
1947, Robert Smith dies after falling from the 7th floor. 1954, Helen Gurney jumps from the 7th floor and lands on the hotel's marquee. 1962, Julia Moore jumps from the 8th floor window. 1962, Pauline Otten jumps from the 9th floor window after an argument with her estranged husband. 1964, Goldie Osgood was found dead in a ransacked room by hotel workers. She'd been stabbed, strangled, and raped. And 1975, an unidentified woman jumps from the 12th floor window. There's more. I mean, that's from 1931 to 1975.
You know what I picked up about all those that you're hitting me with? All those
what's
fucking people have very weird names.
Yeah, a lot of weird names out there.
Nilbert, Purcell, like very, very weird names.
Maybe
a lot
that's
of
why
people
they killed
just,
themselves.
yeah, they're like, oh man, my fucking last name's Nilbert. Time to jump. Bye.
Peace. All right, let's fast forward though to 2013. That is when Elisa Lam disappeared. So, Elisa Lam originally intended to share a room with other girls at the hotel, but she was moved into her own room when these roommates complained of her certain odd behaviors.
Aggressive masturbation.
So I guess she had planned. Ahead online to meet up with some people and share this room, like split the cost.
Yeah, makes travel cheap. I get it.
Yeah, but they complain of her certain odd behavior. I don't know what that means. And then on January 31st, Elisa Lam simply disappears.
But does she?
Well,
exactly.
We'll see. So, her social media posts stop, and all correspondence with her parents stop out of nowhere. This was strange for her because she was very close with her parents, and like I said before, she was sharing this entire trip on social media as she went. So, a search was organized by her parents. They flew out to LA to help the efforts. The police have the entire hotel searched from top to bottom as much as possible, including the roof. Dogs were used. Dogs went through each floor of the hotel, but they were unable to pick up any trace of Lam, which is fucking crazy because she was definitely in the hotel.
Yeah, because they're just sheep, right? Little baby lambs and sheep, right? No?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Good joke. It was it was as if she had just stepped off the face of the earth. She was fucking gone. There were a few clues that turned up. The hotel staff reported that Lam had been alone that day, but was seemingly in good spirits. A nearby bookstore employee claimed that Lam had come in shopping there and that she had been lively and very friendly. Yeah. Increasingly frustrated, authorities began posting flyers around the area, imploring people to come forward with any information they had about the missing woman's whereabouts. What did come forth was what would prove to be the first piece in this bizarre puzzle, a creepy piece of elevator surveillance footage, which seemed to capture the final moments of Lam's life show up. And when I say that the footage is bizarre, that's kind of an understatement. if you haven't watched the video, like I told you to, you should.
Yeah,
listen
you should
to
have
me.
paused and watched it by now. You
I
buffoons.
told you to do that. But lucky for you, I'm forgiving, and I'm going to actually walk you through the video. Here we go. Okay, so in the video, Elisa Lam can be seen entering the elevator wearing a red zippered hooded sweatshirt over a gray t-shirt, as well as a pair of black shorts and sandals.
Yep.
Okay? Her behavior is very, very strange right from the beginning. After getting on the elevator, she frantically presses the elevator buttons, but nothing happens. The elevator door doesn't shut. She seems agitated about this, and she's also like very freaked out, as if someone's following her. When the elevator door fails to close, she peeks out of the elevator several times, looking both ways.
Yep.
Then quickly moves against the wall of the elevator and cowers out of sight, as if she's keeping her eyes fixed towards the outside hallway, like she's expecting someone to come in.
Yep.
She then steps almost out of sight around the corner and pulls her hands out of her pockets and puts them to her ears before stepping back into the elevator and frantically pushing the buttons again, seemingly
Losing her
to
shit.
methodically push them in a line up and down the panel. Maybe entering the digits for the elevator game, Jake.
Yeah, possibly. They're trying to
She paces.
Yeah.
I wonder if the elevator game were to work, would our world's security footage still pick it up? Or is that a stupid question because it's total goofball nonsense?
Well, twofold. I think it is a good question, but yes, it also is total goofball nonsense.
Okay, all right. I hit both points there.
I won't dock you any points for that.
Okay. So she then paces about and puts her hands up to her ears again, and then goes out of the elevator, like almost as if she's expecting someone. It's very strange.
Yes.
At this point, she can clearly be seen talking to someone who's off camera, as well as making a series of strange gestures. She starts rubbing her forearms together and moving her hands, like twisting them around in strange fucking weird ways.
She's about to hit him with a Kamehameha, you know what I'm saying?
A Kamehameha?
Kamehameha.
There you go. Where was I? You made me lose my place.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Twisting of the forearms, doing some sort of weird spiritual dance.
Yes, yeah. She starts like writhing her hands together and waving her arms out to her sides with her fingers outstretched. And then she also seems to like bow and rock back and forth slightly. It should also be noted that the entire time this is happening, the elevator doors stay open. So she hit all these buttons and the elevator doors just won't fucking close.
Yep.
She then walks off camera. After a few moments, the doors finally close, almost as if on cue. And then this is the last time anyone saw her alive. So whatever was going on, whatever she was afraid of, why ever she was freaking out, like the whole time that was happening, this fucking elevator never closed. It never even tried to close. And then as soon as she's gone, it just closes and that's it. Everything's back to normal.
Because then it makes you think about the elevator game for a second, because what if the elevator game isn't an actual physical representation, but it's an actual mental representation, like it's inside of your mind?
Yeah, right. That's what I meant. That's what I was kind of getting at, like.
And say she was, quote unquote, in this other world and got back in the wrong elevator.
Yeah, or maybe she fucking, was it the red woman that she was freaking out about?
Yeah, she might have. The red woman could have been like, "You're in the wrong spot," and then that's when she started losing her mind and tried to hit her with a Kamehameha. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, she tried to pull out all her Dragon Ball Z knowledge.
I was like, "Listen,"
and that wasn't enough.
Listen here, Lord Frieza. I'm tired of your crap.
Yeah. I'm gonna take fucking 26 episodes to finally defeat
to power up. That's right.
All right. So what happened to Elisa Lam after this video? Well,
it's gross.
A few weeks after Elisa disappears, hotel residents began complaining of low water pressure and strange tasting discolored water. So keep that in mind. Somebody drank this. On February 19th, 2013, a worker was sent to check the hotel's water tanks, which lie suspended 10 feet over a heavily secured area with alarm systems. When one of the water tanks was opened, inside they found the waterlogged corpse of Elisa Lam. This was nearly 3 weeks after she had mysteriously disappeared. She was completely naked, covered in a sand-like substance, with her clothes and belongings bobbing about in the murky water beside her. Ugh. It was later determined that she had been floating about and decomposing in the tank for weeks. Okay, so a couple things.
But how'd she get in there?
Yeah, so there's a couple things that are weird about this. Number one, how did she get in there without setting off the alarms? I mean, these are tanks that are suspended, what did it say, 10 feet?
Yeah. Above
the roof, and they're alarmed. So none of the alarms have been set off. Furthermore, the tank, like I said, is in a very difficult spot to reach. There's no ladder at the scene, right? Which means that the 5 foot tall, 121 Lam would have had to gruelingly haul herself up the tank's legs, undress, and then throw all her shit into the water tank, and then also get in herself.
Yeah.
And close the lid, because the lid was closed. It wasn't open.
Yeah.
It's very strange. Speculations and questions raged. How could a woman that was so slight have managed to get past security measures, drag herself up the water tank, and then close the heavy door and lock herself in to drown? Why did she take her clothes off? Also, why did she take her clothes with her into the tank after she took them off? Did she do this on her own? Was there foul play? Another idea was that there was some sort of breakdown or episode related to her ongoing depression. So I guess, Lam had been struggling with mental health issues. She had an online blog in which the headline was a slogan from Chuck Palahniuk that said, "You're always haunted by the idea you're wasting your life." But all right, even if she is depressed, right? Even if she does want to off herself,
that's a very very weird way to off yourself.
Yeah, it is. Also, what the fuck is up with the elevator?
Yeah. Who was she screaming at? Who was she freaking out at?
Yeah, why was she waving her arm? If you watch the video, she's not just waving her arms around. She was
throwing her hands in the air and waving them like she just didn't care.
Yeah, it's like the fucking exorcism of Emily Rose. She's moving in ways that people normally don't move.
Exactly.
It's very strange. She had been taking several medications for her depression, including Wellbutrin and Lamisil. I don't know what those do, but some people say her blogs offered other clues to her mental health condition. Her tone seems to fluctuate widely from happy and outgoing to morose, brooding, and self-deprecating, depending on the day.
Oh, yeah, it's very brooding.
Yeah. Yes, very Gangrel-esque. It's speculated that this depression and mental instability had spiraled into a full-blown bipolar disorder and psychosis. Another wrestling.
Yay!
All right, we have to stop. We have to remember that not everyone listening to this watches pro wrestling.
Yeah.
But that's not going to stop us.
She suffered from a mild case of La Parka. Hey, no.
Hey, the chairman of WCW. Okay. It's speculated that Elisa Lam ended up killing herself in a fit of madness.
Yeah, but what?
It doesn't make any sense.
Such a weird. I feel I don't know. If I'm thinking about ever killing myself, I just run through the hits, jumping off the top of a building, hanging.
Especially when you're staying in the Cecil Hotel. You can just add your name to the list,
Exactly. It's just another notch on the bedpost when it comes to killing yourself at the old Cecil.
That's it.
Yeah, drug overdose. She's already on the shit. Just take some more of it. I don't know. But, to put yourself in a water tank that's like, you know, like, how would she have known it was there? You know what I mean? Like who?
Yeah, that's the other weird thing.
Who goes looking for a water tank and be like, you know what? I'm gonna drown myself in there because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, really, it's strange. So her death was ruled an accidental drowning, and it was surmised that she had gone to the tank.
I'll tell you something right now. There was no accident about that shit.
No, there was something. This was paranormal. This was supernatural.
That's right.
But it said that she went there on her own, possibly in a mentally unstable state, and then entered either entered and could not get back out, or jumped in to commit suicide. It is also speculated that the tank may have been full when she entered, and that the water level had dropped through the water use to the point where she could not have gotten out again, even if she wanted to. Like, so people are saying, like, maybe she wanted to go in for a swim, and then somebody, like, a bunch of people took a shower at once and drained the fucking thing, and then she couldn't reach to get back out.
And here's another.
But if you're gonna go in to get, if you're going in this tank to, like, go for a swim, number one, I'm sure this hotel has a pool. Number two,
Yep.
If you are gonna take your clothes off, why would you throw them in with you? Like, why take your clothes off to keep them dry while you go for a swim in the fucking water tank that people have to drink? You fucking maniac.
Well, what I was about to say was, like, could you imagine being one of the people that stayed there and, like, this water tastes a little gamey.
Right. That's the other thing. These fucking people, because there's people that live at this hotel. Like, this hotel is so shitty now that
it's like a halfway house for some people.
Yeah. Like, people actually, like, make residence here and have been living here for years.
Yeah, and the water tastes like shit. Oh, it's actual shit. Oh, that's
they're
great.
They're just drinking this girl's fucking essence, you know?
Ooh. That's what Evian water's made out of. Decaying bodies.
So, the question is, why did it take 4 months and numerous delays for authorities to actually come out with an official cause of death, right? That's how long it took. 4 fucking months for them to say she accidentally drowned in this tank.
I have no fucking clue. That's fucking wild.
Yeah, so obviously, with all the facts concerning the difficulty in accessing the water tank, the bizarre video surveillance, the delayed autopsy report, and Elisa Lam's mental state at the time, there are many people who believe that this was not an accidental drowning, and they don't believe this fucking official report at all.
I mean, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, it's bogus. Okay, so the case actually gets a little bit stranger. Another piece of evidence that turned up is another piece of hotel surveillance footage, which shows Elisa Lam entering the building with 2 men under mysterious circumstances.
Ooh, I like that.
One police detective describes this footage as thus, quote, "We did see her come in with 2 gentlemen. They had a box. They gave it to her. She went up into the elevator, and we never saw them again on video."
So do you think they gave her some sort of, like, weird paranormal instrument that caused her to lose her fucking mind?
I don't know. It's just fucking, it's so crazy. Like, 2 guys show up, give her this weird fucking box. They're never seen again. She gets into an elevator, loses her shit. She's never seen again. Like, who are these 2 guys? Where do they go? What the fuck's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
I love that movie.
It's a good movie. Okay, so I don't know, man. I don't know. That's the problem with this episode, as well as, you know, a lot of the episodes we do, is that this is still unsolved. Nobody fucking knows what actually happened. I mean, as far as the police are concerned, she accidentally drowned, but
yeah,
I'm not buying that shit.
No, I'm not buying that at all. They're selling. I'm not buying.
Right.
Like, but then again, it's like, do you, like, would someone really want to, like, look at all the evidence, look at all the footage, and be like, you know what, I want to delve into this? That's a hard pass for me. Because the last thing I want to do is get involved with some girl maybe potentially seeing something. She could have been possessed, lost her fucking mind. Next thing I know, people were drinking her, decaying body.
Showering in it.
Yeah, I'm just covered in some sort of fecal skin mousse as I'm trying to wash my body off.
This water smells like kimchi.
Oh, fuck, that's gross. It's so vinegary.
Okay, so there was one other theory, a more paranormal theory.
Yeah, what we
to
got?
Explain this whole thing. This is a quick one. All right.
Something to do with portals and time warps? I'm into that. No.
Well, so the internet is home to the most notorious detectives, and people started to spin together these fucking theories as to what could have actually happened.
The highest of authorities on the paranormal stuff.
And one theory that began to gain steam was that she was actually possessed, but not possessed by the woman in red, possessed by the spirit of Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker.
What?
Because he lived at the hotel for so long.
Ah, that just sounds bogus. Richard Ramirez wouldn't do that shit to himself. He's a fucking G.
Yeah, well, that's true. And there was one other thing that kind of debunked this whole theory, and that is that Richard Ramirez didn't die until 6 months after Elisa Lam disappeared. So
could have been his final act. Could have been his final act.
His final act from prison, he possessed her.
Could have been something like Child's Play, like he put his spirit into a little doll, and then the little doll possessed her. I don't know. It's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit. Well, no, I'm saying he was still alive.
Yeah. No, I know. No, I understand.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay, all right. So I don't know, Jake. Maybe the box that these weird mystery men gave her can contain directions to the elevator game. And maybe Elisa couldn't resist communicating with the woman in red. What do you think about that?
All I can think of is hearing the lady in red.
I know. Once you said that, now that's all I'm getting.
Yeah.
Like I said, unfortunately, that's all I have on this. It's an unsolved mystery. It's very interesting, I think.
It is very interesting, but I want to know why that game became a thing, because that is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
It's very dumb. I
actually said some dumb things, and that's dumb to me.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that originated on Reddit. Actually, it's one of those. Not a lot of credence to it. I'm not buying the whole ancient Korean ritual when it comes to elevators, which I believe were invented, I don't know, in the past 100 years, probably, right?
Yeah.
Also, I do want to say...
I do believe that the Cecil Hotel was a focal point on a season of American Horror Story.
Was it really?
Yeah, I think that was the American Horror Story Hotel season, like season 6 or something.
Oh, I didn't watch that. The one with Lady Gaga, right?
Yeah,
I didn't watch that season.
They had it was at the Cecil, but like H.H. Holmes was there.
Whoa, really?
The Zodiac Killer, Richard Ramirez, the woman who was like the trucker who killed people. I forget her name off the top of my head.
Large Marge.
Tell him Large Marge sent you.
Speaking of H.H. Holmes, that's in the fucking bag still. We will get to that.
We will get to that, because
the fans are clamoring.
Yeah, there's a lot of meat on them bones when we start talking about that guy.
Also, speaking of the fans, this is real quick and off subject, but me and Jake were talking about it a little while ago. We don't know anyone from fucking Kentucky, and we seem to have a huge fan base there. So if you're from Kentucky, why don't you give us an email at thedepthspodcast@gmail.com and just listen to how you heard about us, because we are fascinated at the amount of...
I want to know the people that are listening to us internationally, because that shit's cool.
It's awesome. You guys are great. I want to thank Brent Swanser from www.mysteriousuniverse.org and the YouTube channel The Paranormal Scholar for a lot of the information I used in this episode. Jake, tell them where they can find us, Jake.
Yo, we are on Instagram. I am at Jake Lotz. My man Paul is at Breeden Nuclear. We're on YouTube, Spotify, and the Apple Podcast app. If you like and subscribe,
all the hits.
If you like and subscribe, you ain't got to worry about shit, because it's going to be there every other Thursday, live and ready for you to listen to. And we're just going to talk about some creepy shit, as we did today and as we do every other day.
Yeah, man, we're gonna dive into the depths of fucking humanity. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here on the depths. All right, this was awesome. I have fun. Until next time, Jacob.
Oh, watch it there. That's my government name.
Yeah, all right, this has been over.